Okay, so for our practice today, yin for the stomach and spleen meridian lines. And the reason I really wanted to touch on the stomach and spleen is because a lot of the theme this week has been on satya, our truthfulness, our how honest are we with ourselves in our practice, on the mat, off the mat, how we interact with the world. And something that keeps coming back to me is this idea of the belly brain and listening to our gut. So knowing that that little gut feeling that we have is in many ways our heart, and it often knows things that we don't. So I thought it would be good to spend a little time working those meridian lines out today. So you'll want your bolster. I'm going to have to grab mine in just a second, but you'll want your bolster, probably a couple of blocks. And we are going to begin in a comfortable seat. I know if you were just sitting during the practice of meditation, then we can, you can switch legs. Good, Nicole. Yes, I love this too. um, yeah, so you can switch your legs or come into any other comfortable seat that feels good to you. And the opening meditation, pretty short today. Any comfortable seat. Just feel the body sit up nice and tall and close the eyes. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Open the mouth, big sigh, let it go. Breathe in through your nose. Keep the mouth closed as you exhale. This time as you inhale, feel the belly expand like a big balloon. And exhale, draw the belly button in toward the spine. Again, just like that. One more time. And let the breath return to normal. Breathing in and out through your nose, just letting everything be soft and relaxed. Considering this idea of self-honesty, self-truthfulness, Satya, the Yama, says that this is really how we interact with the world. But in my experience, it has always been that I can never be honest with those around me unless I am first honest with myself. And it can begin with just a simple practice of moving and honoring the space that I am in my body and in my heart. So being watchful and mindful as we come into some shapes here today to stimulate the kidney and spleen and stomach meridian lines, to start to stimulate all of the internal organs deep in our gut, so that we can know that we are taking care of ourselves inside and out. Being honest here with yourself about what you're getting into each pose and what you're really getting out of it. Oftentimes when I'm moving into a shape and I already have some preconceived idea of what it's gonna look like or feel like, and maybe it shows up differently than I expected it to, and I fight it. And that's because I'm, not truly being honest with, showing up exactly as I am. Study the rhythm of your breath and slowly begin to flutter the eyes open. Sweep the arms wide up high. And take one twist. Left arm comes to the right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Just sit up really nice and tall. If you're sitting on a bolster or a blanket, that's going to help you to lean into the lift here. Inhale, release, and sweep the hands up. And exhale, take your twist. As you release, unwind, and we're going to come into child's pose for the first practice here. And for child's pose, we are going to be here for about 3 minutes, so not terribly long in the world of yin, but you do want to make sure that you are able to come into it comfortably, honoring the 3 tenets of yin, coming into it at a reasonable depth, making the conscious choice to stay and to stay for a while. So you can use a blanket or maybe even your big bolster underneath you here. Slide it between your thighs so that as you come down, you can melt your heart onto it. And maybe your head comes down over the front, allowing your spine to stay long. You can also use your hands as a little pillow underneath your forehead. Getting into first kind of stimulating the kidney, because that is the meridian line that really supports the rest of your internal organs. And you'll find that even when we are focusing on other meridian lines, we're still always chiefly activating the kidney first, helping us to rid ourselves of toxic energy. Yeah, I put quotes because we're not really releasing the toxins of our body. We're using that energetic field though. You find yourself very comfortable and you perhaps take a very big inhale, filling up the whole belly, feeling that compression. Invite space here inside your body for your own truth, space to let go of old stories and to fully step into your most authentic and honest self. What that looks like is up to you. Take one more pretty big full breath here. And let out a big sigh. Open your mouth. Let the hips gently rock side to side as you start to release this deep in your hips. And maybe you walk the hands over to the left, coming off of the mat onto the floor. And walk over to the right, doing the same thing over here. Come on, back to center. Walk yourself up. And you may you release your bolster off to the side and grab your blanket. Place it long toward the front third of your mat. As we stretch out here, we're going to come into Sphinx pose. So I'm going to put this blanket right underneath my belly, kind of supporting the lift of my ribs. Letting my feet come out as wide as they want to. I'm going to even like kind of shimmy the hips to make sure that my lower back is taking up as much space as it wants here. And you'll find, feel free to move the placement of the blanket anywhere. So you might take it a little higher up your chest or even a little lower, coming right underneath your hips. Take your time here. And if you're in this shape and you would like more sensation, you can press into the hands, straightening the arms, coming into your seal pose. So these are both really great options depending on what your body's asking for today. So take a moment to use discernment, making a correct choice based on your truth at this moment. And then whenever you do choose, let the chin start to drop toward the chest. Breathe into your belly. Notice the sensations along the back of your head, along your neck, and spreading across the upper back, down the curve of your spine, breathing into the belly. If at any point either of these shapes becomes too much in your body, maybe that edge has been crossed, you can just take the elbows wide to bring the palms together and drop the head all the way. You have just a few more minutes here, so take your time, and if you need to take a break, take your break. Take a very big inhale, slow and steady. Fill all the way up and pause at the top. Feel your fullness. And as you exhale, maybe you can let the lips give a little blubber. Start to press into the elbows, into the hands, rise up. And walk your hands back now so that you're sitting on your knees. And so I have two options here, depending on what is most available to you. First is saddle pose. So you're gonna roll the calves out and let your feet come outside of your hips. So this can be intense on your knees. You're always welcome to sit on your bolster or a block. And if that is still too intense for you today for any reason, you can just possibly try extending one leg long, maybe both legs long. So choosing which one you'd like to be in. If you're taking both legs long, then you'll start to fold forward. And if you're keeping either knee bent, one or both, you'll start to walk the hands back and lift up through the chest. We'll be in this release, in this shape for 4 minutes. So if you're taking just one knee at a time, I'll let you know when we're about 2 minutes in and you can switch knees. And if you are taking the fold, then you'll just stay folded for as long as you like. You are welcome to take your bolster onto your thighs and give yourself just lots of grace here. This intensity, we feel resistance often from an old pattern or the way that we used to be and the way that we want to be, or the way that we are and the person we want to become. And obviously, sometimes it's just plain anatomy. So, take it with truth and discernment as to what is really going on inside of your body. This is your chance to really take a look inside and decide or find out the answer to what it is. And if it is this resistance of this old pattern, this old thought or old idea of what you thought would happen, or maybe just the pattern of who you are, how you move, this of course is going to cause some resistance and friction. So you're getting the choice here to change, right? To let go of that belief and to release into the depth of what truly is here. You're about 2 minutes in. If you would like to switch legs, if you're taking one leg at a time, go ahead and gently switch. Settling here again, this honesty about what you're getting out of the shape and what you're putting into it. If you find that you're putting in this forcing and this, no, this is what I did on the other side, this is what I need to do now, or this is what the rule book says, right? Like, let go of that. Just to experience being in the body, and you choose what is acceptable. Take a very big inhale here. And let it go, big sigh. And we are going to all send the legs long out front. You can keep your prop underneath you if you'd like. We're going to work into a shoelace series. So I'm just going to turn to face you. So I'm going to sit up on the lower height of my bolster here. And just first, I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, knees open wide. Give a little flap of your butterfly wings. And then just lean forward. Try to keep a nice long spine here. Maybe there's a little rocking side to side. You could even take that a little bigger by walking the hands out over to one side and then walking your hands into like a semicircle over to the other side. And come on back up. Use your arms to close your knees. And for shoelace, we're going to start with the left leg underneath. So cross your left foot underneath and walk it all the way out so that your left knee is right in line with your heart. And the right foot is going to come up and over. So first we'll hug the right knee into the chest, sitting up nice and tall, placing the sole of the right foot onto the earth. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe even feel the shoulders draw back and away from the ears. Notice the sensations in your hips. Different hips, kind of both experiencing something slightly different. And we're going to start to curl forward, draw the nose toward that right knee. And it might come all the way down to touch. It might not, and both are perfectly well. Just allowing again to let yourself be rid of these old stories. And sometimes coming face to face with the stories is difficult enough, and it's still part of the practice. So if you're still in a process of seeing the story, seeing the old idea, then that's still a perfect place to be, because the importance of knowing yourself well enough is the most important part of becoming honest with yourself. Self-knowledge equals self-honesty. Inhale to come on up. And you can stay right here if this is a place you like to be, or you can go ahead and drop that right knee closer to stack above your left knee so that both feet kind of come out to the side into your shoelace pose. Sitting up nice and tall, hands might reach your feet. If they don't reach your feet, try to put them down by your hips so that you can sit up a little taller. Steady the breath. And we'll take the arms out wide and cross here. So right elbow comes underneath left elbow. You might give yourself a nice big hug here, wrapping your fingertips around the back of your shoulders. You might wrap the arms all the way up into eagle arms, feeling the broadness of your upper back. Relax the shoulders away from your ears. Choosing which grip means that line between comfort and edge here. Feel the low belly draw in for a breath. And exhale, round it forward. Again, maybe the elbows come down to the knee, maybe the head comes down to the knee, maybe it doesn't. Both are perfectly fine. Whatever happens, try to let the head become heavy. Let the hips become heavy. Allow yourself to stay. It's also a great place for your block. Continue allowing yourself to soften here. Take a very big inhale, nice and slow. And start to release. Sitting up really tall, noticing the shoulders, maybe even taking the hands back behind you for a counter stretch in the chest. And as you release the legs here, you can use your hands to kind of pick up that right leg, open it out, sweep that right foot behind you so that your legs kind of come into a stag shape here. Just allowing that right outer hip to become a little bit open. Keep drawing your chest toward the left thigh. A very gentle twist here. Now slowly release. Sweep both feet out in front of you and give a little windshield wiper here, side to side. Being calm and easy. And we're gonna set up the other side. So now the right leg is gonna be on the bottom. Right knee is pretty centered with the heart. Cross the left foot over, keep the left foot planted onto the earth. Ground down through both hips, hug that left knee in, sit up nice and tall. And either stay here, just finding this lift and length in the belly, in the chest, lifting all the way up through the back of the neck to the crown of your head. And then perhaps rounding down, rounding into your spine. Maybe the head comes down to the knee, maybe it doesn't. Breathe into the back of your heart. Inhale to rise up. We'll start to slide it a little deeper. Sitting up nice and tall, maybe using your hands onto your feet or your hands down by your hips. Feel here just for a few breaths, the lift and length, the heaviness, the density of your hips. Lots of space between your hips and your ribs here. Breathe into all the belly organs. Arms come out wide. And this time the left arm comes underneath the right, crossing at the elbows, perhaps moving right into that big self hug, or wrapping all the way up into your eagle. Taking about 3 breaths here upright. And then starting to bow forward, perhaps using your block. You can also use a block underneath your knee here. Allow the hips to stay heavy, the head to get heavy. Drop into your breath here. Notice the subtle undercurrent flowing deeper within you with that, the flow of your breath, the flow of the energy lines carrying the breath. Take your very big breath in here, drawing all the way up from the root. And big exhale, rising up. And again, we're just going to use the arms to kind of guide that left leg out, drawing the knee to the right foot into our stag legs. Left hand now to the right knee, Sorry, left hand can be on your left hip, just turning your chest to the right knee. You know, if you want a little deeper twist, you can take it. Slow inhale. And release. Sweeping both feet out in front of you again, finding this nice windshield wiper, just letting some of that blood flow back into your hips. You also get a nice little booty massage, my favorite part of this. And we're going to move just a little bit more with just a couple of lunges. Feel free, though, if you want to skip the lunges and just come right onto your back for some easy, calming back support and stretch. I'll guide you verbally through the version of these lunges on your back. First, we're just going to come into take your right foot forward. You're going to come up onto your left knee. Tuck your left toes under and just start to rock here back and forth. So if you want to take this on your back, you will be on your back in a half happy baby, holding your right ankle or calf with your knee bent up by your shoulder. Just a little rocking here side to side, and I'll actually show you that in just a moment if you want. We're going to take both hands to the inside of the right foot, so start to heel toe your right foot out. We're going to move into our lizard lunge. So you can keep the back knee down and just let the hips sink forward. You can also come onto your forearms and allow the hips to sink here, letting the head become heavy. Coming into a nice, steady, heavy lizard lunge. And now I'll just show you what this would look like on your back. Your left leg will be long and your right foot will be held into your hand. Just rocking here side to side. And this is going to help you get into the hips as well, just without the added weight of your body with gravity. This is a great option if you are looking to keep your energy pretty low for the rest of this Sunday or whatever day you're practicing this, for my friends who are catching the recording later. Whether you are on your feet in your lizard or on your back in your half happy baby, allow the body to surrender here. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to force, nothing to fix. Just you being you, complete and whole just as you are, experiencing this body. Find a little heaviness here come over your body, like a weighted blanket, just wrapping you in comfort, wrapping you in stillness. Let your body take this opportunity to rest and let go of a big sigh. We're going to start to switch sides here. So if you're in your lunge, go ahead and start to bring in some movement. Maybe there's a counter stretch or just a little bit more you'd like to take here. You could bend into the back knee, adding a twist or a quad stretch. And we'll just start to release. If you're on your back, go ahead and stay there and just take whatever you need before you switch sides. I would like to suggest just hugging your knees into your chest. And as you switch sides, right knee is going to sweep back, left foot is going to step forward. And again, just this rocking back and forth to get into a deep stretch. Taking your time as you will eventually walk the hands to the inside of your left foot and come into your lizard on this side. And again, if you're on your back, you're taking your half happy baby with your right leg extended long, left foot up in your left hand. Maybe you have your ankle, or you could even be hooking your forearm around the back of your left knee. Doing this on my prop. Again, allowing yourself to drop deeper and deeper into this surrender. Allowing this, almost like, how when it snows and, the world just gets this blanket of silence over it. Imagine something like that coming over your body here. Focus on your breath. Keep drawing your attention back to the breath. Easy rhythm. And take your big inhale. Start to release the pose. Again, maybe you take that twist or quad stretch if you're in your lizard, or anything else that feels good in your body coming out of that. Be easy and be gentle. And then take whatever you need to start to make your way onto your back. If you've taken the happy baby version, you'll stay there. Maybe hugging your knees into your chest as you land. Just allow yourself to arrive here. Taking your knees to your chest. And then bring the soles of your feet together. You might use your blocks here underneath your knees as you open the knees out wide in the Supta Baddha Konasana. Just allowing your whole spine to belong here. You might take both of your hands and place them on your belly. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. And imagine that stimulation in your organs here. Every inhale expanding and brightening. Every exhale contracting and moving. Knowing here that, when we listen to our gut, we're often listening to our own intuition. And we can trust that it is the right call, it is the right move, even if it is the more difficult one. Allow your breath to drop you a little deeper into this support and ease here. Giving a little scan of the body. Notice if there is any last holding on, gripping, and know deep in your belly, deep in your gut that it's okay to let go. It's okay to surrender and just be. You are welcome to stay just like this for Shavasana. Maybe just drawing a blanket up and over you so you stay warm and cozy. Maybe you'd like to extend the legs long, moving into our more traditional corpse pose. You choose and then you act. Allowing the eyes to close and soften into their sockets. The muscles of the forehead and the cheekbones, the jaw, softly relax. The throat. Feel a swallow there. Feel the throat free and clear. Expand into the heart space and the chest in your next inhale. Open your mouth, let out a big sigh. Feel the back of your head heavy, growing heavier. The whole back body, all the way passing through the shoulders, the spine, the hips, the glutes, the legs, the back of your calves or your feet. Everything heavy, being held, allowing the support beneath you to embrace you just as you are. No more fidgeting. Everything is perfect. Even as the mind starts to pull your attention into maybe the next thing that's happening today or next week, make the conscious choice here to stay for just a few more moments, just for you. Begin to deepen your breath. Allow yourself to awaken with no expectations, no restrictions, making the conscious choice a promise to yourself to invite space for your clear truth in the rest of your day or the week ahead. To be honest about what you're getting out of those things you put your energy into. And the same vice versa, the things that you're getting something from, what is the energy that you are putting into it? And is it true and clear? Are your intentions pure? And when all else fails, remember to listen to your gut, that deep seer, the witness within. Begin to make your way into a comfortable seat. Letting the eyes stay closed if that feels right to you. Gather the palms together in front of your heart as you bow your chin to your chest, honoring the light within yourself. You're honoring that light within each other. As we come together in this community, I'm so grateful to share this path with you. The light in me honors and bows to that same light in you.